from the practical perspective, how the Home Office assess the fee waiver application. I mean, if you can't pay the Home Office fee to make an application in the UK to for your leave to remain, how the Home Office assess your application when you made an application for an exemption from paying NHS fee or the Home Office fee. Now, currently, NHS fees is a huge burden for the applicant. Not every applicant can afford it, or the Home Office fee as well. So the caseworker, when they assess the application for fee waiver, first they look into the credibility of the claimant or of the applicant. So when you make this application, you give information about your finance, about your ability to pay the Home Office fee. So about your cost, about outgoing, about income. So first the caseworker look into your bank statement. They see the transaction, they see the available fund, they see how much money you earn, they see how much money you transfer, whether you have paid a lump sum amount of money to anyone, whether your bank statement is linked to any other bank where you didn't disclose it. So the first thing they assess about it, about your credibility, and then they look into it whether you are really destitute or a risk of imminent destitute. I'll explain what is mean by destitute. And then they look into it. Also, they can look into it whether you don't have enough income or sufficient saving to pay the Home Office fee, or your income is not sufficient to meet your child or the family particular or essential living needs. Now, once you establish that you are a destitute, now what is destitute? Well, destitute means a person who basically has no sufficient income to pay the Home Office fee, or he does have an ability to pay the Home Office fee. However, if he pay the Home Office fee, he will not have a sufficient income for himself or for his family to buy the essential living needs. So that's what you have to establish to the Home Office. Now, from the practical perspective, mainly if you are in receipt of benefit and if you don't have sufficient saving on your bank accounts, in that case, you can apply for fee waiver. Alternatively, if the calculation show that your monthly income is not more than your expenditure, in that case, the calculation you need to show in the home application form that whatever you earning currently, your expenditure is more than your earnings. Say, for example, if you earn £2,000 a month and your expenditure, you pay rent £1,200, food you pay £1,000, so £2,200. In that case, your income is less than your expenditure. That case, you are a destitute. So that is the explanation of destitute. So that is the first thing. And then what the Home Office see in a practical, when you make this application, basically this application for you, but it is a homework. So when you make this application, you need to give every single expenditure and need to provide evidence. When I made my client's application, I also provide evidence that they are also receiving help from the family, because those who are destitute, they're more likely, sometimes receive benefit from food banks, sometimes they receive from charities, sometimes they get from family members. So I always ask them to bring a letter from a charity, bring a letter from the mosque, bring a letter from the church, or bring a letter from the friends and family. They can write a letter that he is in financial difficulties, and could be sometime we help them by food, providing some cloth or providing some cash money. So that additional evidence make your case very strong. In addition to that, I always advise the client who are making fee budget, be honest with the Home Office, because honestly, you need to disclose all the information. Don't hide what some people believe, that they put money in an account whether if they have any saving, and then or where the bank account where they have more transaction or the money over there, they don't disclose it. But remember, Home Office has access to your accounts in all your database, all your record. They normally go to experience credit score and see all the bank account you are hold. They have all this information. So if you are not honest with the Home Office, more likely your application will be rejected. So from the beginning, you have to be honest and you need to give all the evidence. Because in the fee waiver application, there is two page where first you need to give all your income. So income is more likely your salary. And in the second stage, you need to give your expenditure. When you give the expenditure, you need to give every single, that's a box coming. How much you pay for council tax, how much you pay for your water bill, how much pay for your gas bill, how much pay for your mobile phones bill. Every single expenditure of a household is in that form. You need to give accurate information and you need to provide evidence. If you say I pay £800 rent, you need to provide a tenancy agreement. If you claim I receive benefit, you need to provide your universal credit payment, proof of payment, so the monthly payment statement, these evidence. You need to give your all the day-to-day living cost, expenditure, food voucher, all sort of evidence you need to provide in this form. And if you make it successfully this application, you have a better chance to get fee waiver. Another thing worth to remember, if you get a fee waiver or NHS fee exemption, in these types of application, more likely you will get access to public fund as well. In case if your current BRP card doesn't allow you to get the public fund, benefit universal credit, you can make an application to remove the restriction, which is change condition of your visa, and more likely you're able to get public fund. Now, the last point I want to mention that not everyone will get the NHS fee exemption or fee waiver application. Only those who basically made an application human rights based or a discretionary leave, these types of application you will get fee waiver. Now, this comes from a case law basically, which is a case, three case law basically. Amor R versus Secretary of State Home Department in 2012, and then Carter R versus Secretary of State Home Department, and finally that very recently, I think in 2020 during COVID, that case was the Jinkyu litigation versus others. In this case, basically, court give a wide range of interpretation, and court basically declared the Home Office current fee waiver immigration rules is unlawful. And later, the Home Office changed the immigration rules. They published the new public policy guidelines for the caseworker, and they extend this application of fee waiver in many applications, including 10 years, partner rule, parent rules, private life rules, human rights, any medical ground, compassionate ground, any article of ECHR on human rights basis, you can get advantage of fee waiver application and NHS fee waiver application. So this is a brief information. Based on your circumstance, we advise the client. So if you have any question or if you need help, please feel free to contact us with the number at the bottom of the screen. We have office in London and Milton Keynes, and around the whole UK. We provide advice remotely by a video link. So if you need any help, please feel free to contact with me. Thank you for today.